Hi, hello. Uh, okay, this is in this video I'm just gonna be showing myself draw this picture of Wither, and I just wanted to make this so I could show you how I use the app that I use to draw, which is Autodesk Sketchbook. Mine's not the most updated version, so if yours is a bit different, uh, that's why. I'm just sharing like my techniques for drawing. It's not none of this is professional. um and I'm still learning. So this is, just don't take this for gospel. I'm just trying to share my own techniques and tips on how to draw on this app. So yep, I'm gonna just hop into this and yeah. And in this video I'm still new to all these techniques I'm picking up, so it's not the smoothest. I'm still experimenting. Yeah. Enjoy. Okay, so I already have the sketch, so I'm just testing the size with that brush that I use for line art. I'm just testing the size I want to use for the line art, and more recently I've been using a more thicker outline and line art, so yep, that's why it looks a bit different from my older arts. So I usually just use the circle tool and just draw that in, and yep, that's just how I draw her hair, and I just erase the edges to make the lines more sharp. And I'm just gonna speed up the rest of this. Oh, I'm voicing over this and just watching the footage run, so I'm not gonna, none of this is timed well, none of this is scripted. I'm just commenting on my own self and stuff, so bear with me. Okay, so right after I line art, I will just use a base color and just create the mask. The mask is just the layer under the line art, which has all the colors and stuff. And you might be thinking, why not just fill it in, using on the same layer as the outline? And you'll see soon, because I'll be using the different blending tools that this app has to offer, and it's much more, it works better if it's on a different layer. Yeah. So here is the multiply layer, which usually just fill it with white is the neutral color for this, so if you colored the multiply layer white, you wouldn't see a difference. So just use it as the neutral and shade everything in a different color to that of what. When you shade, try to use a different color from that you're shading on. Like for in this, I'm Wither is green, and I'm using a shade of blue to shade. Try not to use really dark colors of it, because to make the image more lively, you might want to try to find a lighter value of a different color. And if you're thinking, why not just use black, because black, it does not, trust me, it looks better. Okay, but don't just pick any color. I'm still new to this, so really I just figured, hey, I've colored leaf a while, and in my practice, and blue just seems to be the best that goes with it. But I'm sure there'll be other colors that can fit, I think, under different kind of lighting and backgrounds and settings. Just experiment and see what works. But yeah, just try to always use different colors and just don't use black to shade, because it looks not, it just doesn't look nice. So once I'm done shading that, you can see, hopefully, that I am creating a new layer above the base color layer, and I put it on multiply. And this is just how I draw the line for the hair. You don't have to do this. Again, this is just my preference, my technique. You really don't have to follow what I'm doing. Just use a dark blue and use multiply and lower the opacity, and then I just draw the lines for the hair. So then after that, I'm going back onto my shading layer, the multiply layer, and just shade in the hair. That's just how I shade the hair. Again, people can have different techniques, just yeah, this is just how I do it. The reason why for this layer, I have my new base color I chose for the multiply layer was not just white and just it was actually a lighter shade of gray is because I can use white and I can create these what do you call it, highlights on the just the lighter patches, you know, a lighter outline. I don't know, I just call it highlights. So once that's done, I will create a new layer. Well, not really create a new layer, I'll just duplicate one of the layers that's already from the base color or just from the multiply because they're both from the same thing. And I will change the blending into glow. Now glow's neutral color, like the color that it has to be in as a base so that you can't see any of its effects, is black. So just color that black unless you want a little of base glow, then you can just choose a color for that. Usually that should be the color of the background if it's pretty lit. So yeah, and for this I'm going to be using blue to add the glow. It's usually better if you don't just use white to glow because, you know, same thing with the shading, it just looks more lively and not just dull white and black. So that's just, I'm actually in this, I'm kind of going a bit away from the norm of how I glow things a bit. That's how I do it, at least in this. And then I chose the same blue that the same light blue I was choosing for the glow, and I use it to make the, I don't know, I just call them eye lights. I just use it to do the eye lights for her eyes, and you know, it just works, I guess. And here's a little tip that I've picked up from I forgot where. You can create using your base layer and duplicate a copy. Change the blending into overlay, and overlay is basically the best, not the best, but what I feel is pretty good for overall shading. Not overall shading, no. Overall shadows. So usually just the neutral for this is gray, like smack in the middle gray. So I just colored the base that, and then I use gradient fill to fill the bottom where it's least lit black and the top where it has light white. And as you can see, it just makes the gradient of the shadow, and I'm just tweaking around with it because I have to find that nice balance. And then I do the same kind of thing with the background, but I use that on multiply, so there's a nice little gradient. And then I try to color the outline. This is also new to me. I know it works well, I've seen it work well, but I it's just new to me. I can't get the colors right to blend too well with the background, so just yeah. But usually just choose a color that is of the skin color and just make it dark, and just instead of just plain old black, because you know, it's just more lively. And then there's a new technique that I've been experimenting with, and I'm not that good with it yet, no. So I just create a glow layer above the original outline layer, and I just add some bit light up there, so the line art itself has some light on it in gradient. And yeah, that's just how I draw it so far. You can pick up whatever you want from that. Okay, I guess I'm done here, so have a nice morning, noon, evening, night.